Hey guys, welcome to Ferrigno Freedom channel. I'm Dante Ferrigno. For those of you who have never been here before, it's nice to have you here. For those of you who are returning, welcome back. I'm always glad to have you guys. I'm going to be talking to you today a little bit about the Schwank grill. Now this is something that I learned about when I was watching Dr. Baker one time, and I had never heard of an infrared grill because I wasn't a griller. I'm not a guy who cooks. One of the things that's changed my life ever since I went on a carnivore way of eating like lion diet is that I have found an interest in cooking food, because when you go on a carnivore diet, especially one as restrictive as what I do, like the lion diet, because of the gut problems I had and how careful I have to be with what I cook my food with, I've had to learn to cook. Even though I don't like it sometimes, I still had to learn to cook. Now for those of you who've been watching a while, you know I prefer the air fryer because it's quick, it's fast, it's clean, and it does the job to make sure that I can make steaks quickly as I like. And one of the things I always hated about grilling was all the time it took to get set up and how much time it took to get cleaned up, especially afterward. That was the worst part for me, especially cleaning burners and stuff like that. Well, one of the things I love about the Schwank grill is that it doesn't have that problem, because everything is self-contained in this stainless steel area, and anything that drips, the heat is actually up top here. So everything that drips is saved down here in the drip pan. And the cool part about the drip pan is you can let it be where your steak rests when you're done cooking, so that you actually get full advantage of all those juices. They don't get lost in the fire of your regular grill. So it's easy to clean, you don't lose any juices, and then the fact that it cooks at 1500 degrees means that you can get a sear on your steak like you've never seen before, and it allows you to cook your steak a whole lot faster. This will be the 4th time I've used this grill, as I've been practicing different ways of doing it, but it pretty much seems to be universal that once you put the steak in, you're going to put it in right here on top of one of these two symbols for the Schwank here, the bullhead symbol that they have, because that puts it directly underneath each of the two heating elements that's up here. And you can cook your steak right next to the heating element, about 1 inch away from the heating element, for 1 minute to 1.5 minutes at the most. You lower it down, which this little thing on the side here is what raises and lowers it. You lower it down, you flip them over, you raise it back up to where it's 1 inch below the heat, and then it's going to sear the other side. Then you lower it down to about level 3. You got your thermometer in there, you make sure you get it to the temperature you want, and that takes around 3 minutes. So altogether, technically you should be able to cook a steak in under 5 minutes. Now, it's going to vary depending on the thickness, obviously, and how low you set it. I've tried it at the bottom, I've tried it a little higher, I've even tried cooking it down in the drip pan, which took a lot longer. So I'm going to give it a try today, doing a 19.2 ounce New York strip steak that is about 2 inches thick, and we're going to see how the Schwank grill can handle that New York strip steak. First I need to go ahead and get it warmed up, so I'm going to push the knob down, turn it to the on position, hit the igniter, listen for it to start. Oh, stay on. There we go. Hold it for a few seconds afterward, and I can hear it still going. And then I'm going to go get my steak. Be right back. And I want to get this bottom pan nice and hot, so I'm going to raise it up there. That way it'll get a nice sizzle when I set it down on the cooking plate. So here's the New York strip steak I was telling you about. I have coated it with Redmond smoke salt because I want it to have a smoky flavor, even though I'm cooking with propane. And yes, it does use propane or natural gas, so whichever you use, this is going to work. I think I'm ready. I'm going to go ahead and lower this down. I'm going to grab the little pull-out tong that they have here. I'm going to pull out the drip tray first, and then pull out the cooking tray. And then I'm going to set the steak right down in the center here on top of the symbol. And then I'm going to put the steak back in, put the drip tray back in, and I'm going to carefully watch, because 2 inch thick steak is going to hit if I go to level 5 up here, or level 7, but I'm going to go to level 6, I think. Let's see. Yeah, right below the heat element there. Level 6 was perfect for that. All right, it's been about 1 minute there. Let's go ahead and pull this out again. And you can see how it comes really quickly seared. We'll flip it over to sear the other side. And then we'll raise it back up and give it about 60 seconds. It's been right at a minute now. I'm going to go ahead and lower it back down. Pull it back out again. Look at that. Now I'm going to take my temperature probe, stick it into the thickest part of the steak here. There we go. And then I'm going to put it back in, and I'm going to raise it up to level 3. And it should be at the right temperature in about 3 minutes. One of the things I love about this unit is it is portable. You can see it's got handles on both sides, and it's fairly heavy, but I mean, it's not like lifting your normal barbecue pit. So especially a big stainless steel one, those things can be real heavy. So you got portability. I got a table that I bought on Amazon to go with it. They do sell a table to match it, but it's a good bit more expensive than this table that I bought. This was around $100, and it is very easily foldable for portable use. So I could take this whole setup with me anywhere I want to go in a matter of minutes. It is cooking fantastically. The handle on the side here I was using to raise it up and down. As I mentioned, I was cooking it up top at level 6 because it's a thick steak. Thinner steak you could go all the way up to level 7. Down here I'm on level 3 right now, and then you can go all the way down to level 1 so you can have easier access to everything. Now according to my meter app, it's telling me that this is going to take a little longer than 3 minutes. We got 6 minutes on here. It is a thicker steak than I've seen people cooking on YouTube. A lot of times they're just cooking 1-inch steaks. All right, now my temperature probe has told me that it's time to remove the steak from heat, so I'm gonna go ahead and take it out of here. I did flip the steak one time because I wanted to get cooked evenly on both sides. You can see it was getting a little cooked on one side. The other side I didn't get quite as much, but it reached the temperature before. I didn't know if I even needed to do that because look, that looks gorgeous. Now what I could do is I could drop it down in the pan here and soak up the juices. And a lot of people like to put butter or maybe some Wagyu beef tallow down in there. Add a little bit of flavor to your inexpensive Publix store-bought steak. Soak up all those juices. And then let's take it inside, let it rest, and we'll cut it open and see how it looks. All right, I just cut into it and took a bite before I realized my camera wasn't recording. But you can see I got a beautiful rare steak right here. I didn't go all the way to 130 because I was getting worried with the top getting black that it wasn't going to be enough, but it looks like it's perfect. There's no brown lines to indicate anything was overcooked on the outside edges of the meat, and it is so tender and juicy. Man, I just can't believe how good that is. I can't believe how good living a life on a carnivore diet can be, especially with some of the amazing tools that we have at our disposal these days. I want to thank Schwank Grills for sending me this one to try out and show my audience here. And I also want to thank Schwank for giving you, for giving you guys an extra special deal whenever you buy using my link down below and my discount code Dante, D-A-N-T-E. You will get your grill with a grill cover for no extra charge when you use my discount code when you order. Anyway, guys, that's all I got for this one. I appreciate you joining me, and I'll see you guys next time.
If we pay extra, could we maybe get some grease or fat?